This is the Scary Movie Clubcast.
Live from the clubhouse, it's Scary Movie Clubcast. This is Mackenzie,
Nadine,
Megan,
Dahmer,
and Amanda.
and tonight we watched Tigers Are Not Afraid.
we're almost done crying.
We're almost done crying. We had to have our ice cream. Okay, we're gonna have a quick summary of the movie by Dahmer.
It takes place in Mexico. It follows a little girl named Estrella. In the middle of a shootout near her school, another girl in her class comes up to her and hands her 3 pieces of chalk and goes, "You have 3 wishes."
It's the
It's the
teacher.
teacher.
Was it?
Mhm.
No.
It was an
They
adult.
were all on the floor. It was hard to tell.
Oh, okay. Well, she goes home with her wishes to find that she can't find her mother. And at least a day or 2 goes by and her mother doesn't come home, only to realize that her mother is never going to come home. And she uses one of her wishes to ask that her mother comes back. But, wish does not go the way that she wants it to. It's pretty horrific. It's like the ghost of her mother or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so she ends up running away and sort of joins this group of orphan children. And all of these children are orphans because of this really violent gang or
The
organized
cartel.
the cartel.
It's like a
yeah.
part of
The
the cartel.
Huescos, and they are sort of on the run because of one of the kids has this phone from this really bad dude, and she ends up using one of her wishes to wish this guy dead, and so word on the street is that she's the one who killed him, and it's a whole mess. It's about corruption, violence, and a little bit of element of magic, and cute kids.
Such
Such
kids.
cuties.
But she wishes that she doesn't have to kill him.
Yes, and so
Yeah.
he ends up,
The answer to the wishes, he already did.
yes.
Yeah. So she didn't have to kill him. Alright, so Nadine's gonna give us some fun facts about the movie.
The plush tiger that's in it was handmade.
Oh.
Handmade little tigre. All these kids had no acting experience before this movie.
They
Wow.
were so
Yeah,
good.
they did
Especially
Yeah.
good
shiny.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and the writer-director, Issa Lopez, she made, a conscientious decision for that she was like, I don't want any kids with acting experience,
Mm.
which I thought was really cool.
She probably wanted them to just act like kids.
Yeah, exactly. It was shot in chronological order,
Hmm.
and the kids were never given a script.
What?
What?
Wow.
She wanted their real reactions. So, they would
I'm
just...
sorry, so that lead kid really was just raging with the swear words.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess so.
I mean, I'm sure he was given direction,
Yeah,
be
yeah.
angry about this thing.
Exactly, yeah. They would be put in situations and stuff, but
They did a
Yeah,
great
they were.
job.
I think it's very interesting. Stephen King called it both tough and touching, which I thought was super
It's
cute.
accurate.
I
Yeah.
know. So good. And Issa, she made a big deal out of, for some reason, she really wanted Stephen King to see it. That was really important to her, and she, really went hard to make sure that he did. And then once he did, he was like, oh, I love it. And he, him and Guillermo del Toro, went really hard for this movie, giving it a lot of
Oh,
buzz,
wow.
which was great,
It's
because
huge.
otherwise it didn't, it needed
Yeah.
buzz. Oh, the title that comes up in Spanish that, you guys were all like, that's clearly not, that clearly doesn't say Tigers Are Not Afraid. It says They Come Back in Spanish.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, so a lot of the fun facts that I got, because there were, none on IMDb or Wikipedia, so is from watching interviews with Issa, and in one interview, it's her and Guillermo del Toro, and he just said something that I really liked, this quote, and he was, saying how other people are always like, I'll never sell out. He's like, well, wait until someone's buying. I was like, you are not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Issa Lopez was actually pigeonholed as a rom-com writer before
Oh, wow.
this. Yeah, she didn't like it. She really had
No,
no interest in
because-
doing it.
This is so much deeper than any rom-com, and it's incredibly moving.
Oh, yeah. And just where she was in Mexico and stuff, she was naturally pigeonholed in there because she was a female. And so that's what they wanted her to write. And so when she decided to start writing this, she made herself get up early every single day. And she's not a morning person, to write a scene. And in 3.5 months, she had this movie. Or in 3 months, she had this movie.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's wild.
Better than the 20 years it took for The Conjuring.
Yeah. Once she had the script and everything, she was really, done with the rom-coms. She went to the production company that had been having her do the rom-coms and basically was like, okay, I want to do this script. Either you guys can let me do, like, they read it and they were like, not for us. And she was like, well, either you can produce this script, and that's great, and then we'll keep working together, or anything else that I write from here on out, I'm going to take to some other production company. and basically they were like, oh, okay, I guess.
Nice.
Turned out so good. The shoot was only 36 days long.
Wow.
It's not long. In my mind, at least.
So
16.
fast.
I know. And it had like a $1.3-ish million budget. Not too bad. Alright, you guys. Issa's mother actually died of natural causes when she was a really young girl. Oh, sad. So the characters, Estrella and Shiny, are actually like meant to be two halves of like one character.
Oh,
I know.
that's really cute.
I thought it was the sweetest thing. And of course, like, when I wrote it down and like read it, it didn't mean that much to me because I hadn't watched the movie yet, but now that I have, I'm like, oh my gosh,
You're like,
my heart.
they are meant to be two
I know.
halves.
So sweet.
Little mom and dad.
The camera, a lot of times the way that they did the camera, it's meant to feel like it's the sixth child. Like, they like tried to do things like on their level and stuff like that, and it was because they wanted us to feel like we were like there with them.
I
part
did.
Of it. Yeah.
You were part of their.
We were part of their
Tiger
family.
cubs.
We were a
Yeah.
tiger
You're
cub.
part of the game.
The casting director actually saw over 600 kids before making
Wow.
the casting. thing.
That's pretty wild.
That's a lot.
That's
It's
a lot of kids.
children.
They're like, can you just naturally be great?
and a couple of them were. And then they were casted.
They did a 4-week workshop with the kids to try to get like the proper relationships between them and stuff. And the one who plays Estrella is actually from like the highest class family of all of them. Like, she's not like from a crazy well-off family, but compared to the rest of them, and so it really helped to make it easier for them to like have that like, oh, get out of here, princess type like feel towards her. Like, Issa even said that like when they weren't recording, sometimes that would like happen, and that Estrella would like get upset.
Oh,
She
poor
had to like talk to her
baby.
and stuff. It was cute.
Uh-huh.
So this one's crazy. You guys are gonna love this. The tiger was actually going to be a zebra.
What?
But they couldn't get one because Issa had like had this dream like weeks before shooting and saw in it a zebra like in the street, and she was like, oh, I want to use that in the thing, and decided to. But then when they were checking with the animal handlers and stuff, they were like, we don't have it, and they were like, we have a tiger though. And she was like, good enough.
That's so interesting. You'd think it would be harder to get a tiger. And like, oh yeah, zebra's just like a
It's like a
funny
horse.
horse.
Like,
Yeah.
you would just think that it would affect the whole story. Like, you would just
Yeah.
think that
Right.
like,
So was
It
the
does
whole
change
thing
it a lot.
about tigers not being afraid not already in the story?
I don't know.
Or was this
I mean,
because I
didn't
know,
read
zebras
I
the
are
know
not
that
script.
I wonder if it's just zebras are not
the
afraid.
shooting only took place over 36. So maybe all of this decision making happened before the shooting.
The decision happened like 3 weeks before the shooting, so not long. But what if I had to like guess? Again, it's a guess because I haven't gotten to read the script before the tiger was in it. I would guess that it would have been like very, very similar, but being like warriors are not afraid, because that's what she talked about, is like being a prince, being a warrior, being a tiger. And
I
so,
did think it was kind of weird that they were like, what's in fairy tales? And they're like, tigers. I'm like, not my first thought.
Yep. Oh, so the tiger is real. Because you remember when we were watching it, they were like, it's not real, it is real.
I knew it
It
was
is.
real.
I thought it was a
I
combination of
knew.
both.
I thought it was a
It was hard for me
combination.
not to say. Issa, the writer-director, actually has never read Monkey's Paw, but her dad used to tell them the story all the time when they were kids, and they would like ask to hear the story, and he would just tell it to them.
Oh,
Isn't that cute? She, in the thing that I was watching when she was talking about it, she was like, I probably should go read that story.
it's a pretty horrific story.
Yeah.
Very upsetting. So short though. Very easy read.
Yeah, just for context, everyone, I said monkey paw apparently a billion times,
Uh-huh.
and they all made fun of me for it.
It was insane. I mean, we let it slide the first literally like 7 times, and then we were like, okay.
But she did use it in reference of like, oh, here comes another monkey paw moment.
Monkey paw this, monkey paw that,
It
monkey, monkey, monkey
wasn't,
paw.
I knew it was okay. You should have said tiger paw. Then we would have let
But
it
that's
slide.
not what the story was.
Oh boy.
It was the monkey paw.
Alright.
So those are our fun facts.
Alright, we'll talk about our favorite parts of the movie. Amanda, do you want to go first?
I don't know, I really liked the parts where like the spray paint figures came to life.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And I love that little stuffed tiger. It was so cute when he came to life.
They sell them, I think, and the money goes to charity.
And then I'm gonna cry again.
We're gonna get tigers. I would
Oh,
like.
we could all have matching ones.
I really want
You
one.
put them on the
so
Instagram.
bad.
Together.
Amanda sobbed, you guys, like a
It
baby.
was so-
like Mackenzie and I, which is Nadine. We all all three of us cried. Dahmer and Megan are stone walls and didn't cry at all. Like
Look,
crazy people.
movies don't make me cry. It doesn't mean that I don't appreciate them and love them. It just
Oh, it was a sad
That's
one
it.
though.
Just
It was a
inside.
sad one. It
No,
just means your
it
dad
probably
inside.
means that. It's fine.
And it all hit me like so hard at the end.
The end was fast. It was just like all of a sudden it was like bang, 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 literally.
Because you
And
think
then-
one thing and then you're like,
Wait.
oh gosh.
Alright, these are supposed to be favorite parts, not most depressing parts.
The whole movie was depressing. It was good, but it was okay. Dahmer.
I really loved when they moved into that new location and they were like, look, we do have a zoo, and they were trying to find their soccer field because it had all the things they wanted, and then they didn't find a soccer field, but low-key, they did because there were all those soccer balls that they colored on.
Yeah, so sweet.
And then the freaking auditorium where they were pretending.
Ah.
So cute, their little talent.
That was
yes,
so good.
that
It's like,
was
they're like, get out of here, and he's like throwing his notepad at him.
That was very, very good.
My Twinkles, dude.
My
Classic my Twinkles, dude. Megan.
I really love the part where Moro, he had been like playing after they had gotten to the new place, and he accidentally like rips his tiger, and he's so upset. And so he goes to Estrella, and she fixes up his little tiger, and she kisses him on the forehead, and he's like, kind of like, mom,
Gross.
Gross,
Don't do that.
kiss me. And it's such an adorable moment, like, because she only just like days before joined this group of people, and it just kind of like showed how important she had become to this like group of orphans, and how she like really belonged with them. I just thought it was such a cute moment.
Nadine.
I really, really loved the part when Shiny broke into Estrella's house and was like taking stuff, and then she was like, you can't have this, it's my mom's. And he was like, don't you know that she's not coming? And she was like, she came back last night. And I just like, oh man, I loved it. Because I just thought it was like so sweet but sad, and like just all the emotions, but I really thought it was cute.
I think so. Like, I'd say my favorite part is like a bunch of different parts of just the relationships between the kids. Like, everything was so bittersweet. Seeing it reminded me so much of like the Lost Boys, like from Peter Pan. Just that feeling of like Wendy coming in and being like, they're like, this is our new mom, like this is our mother, and how much, I don't know. I loved, one of my favorite parts was when they were at their old like rooftop house, and Shiny turned the TV on, and it was all this violence, and he turned it to like dance music, and they all were dancing, and then they came over and got Estrella, and like she started dancing
They're like,
with
show
them.
us your moves.
Show us your moves, and it was just so like, it's just cute. It's like seeing them all. They were like hardened because of all the trauma, but they're still kids, and like seeing how much they needed each other, especially in the end when like most of them die. And so then just being able to have those bittersweet moments of like they had each other for a little bit in their tiny little lives. Also, like when she goes and saves Moro and he's in the little cage, and then she frees those other two little boys too.
I know, because honestly, it's like, you think that Moro's like gone. Like, you don't think that
Yeah.
you're gonna see him again.
You're like,
and
the
then it's like,
cartel took him, you're done. Like, he's done. They took his little footsies, is what they said. They're like, he dropped his plush tiger and they grabbed his little footsies, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
His footsie.
His little footsies. Okay, we'll talk about our least favorite parts. Amanda?
When they died.
When they
Which
died.
one?
All of them.
Pick a death, any death.
Oh my gosh. When that cute little baby dies.
Moro.
Yeah.
Morito.
Morito.
Adios,
Very
Morito.
No, that one.
But
was-
luckily he
was-
got a shot in. I mean, he was trying to help.
Yeah,
It's
he
not.
did have a heroic death.
I'd rather him not die at all.
He's going to Valhalla.
Yeah, well, actually, he's going to haunt Estrella until the end of the movie is where he's
But that's
going.
okay.
But he's helpful.
He's a helpful little ghost,
Yes,
and
he
so is his
is.
little tiger.
Chatty
And he-
little ghost.
And he
He's
talks
chatty.
to her.
He's a
which
chatty
is
little
so
ghost.
cute.
Because he
Yeah,
didn't
'cause
talk
he-
in life.
Yes.
He was too traumatized.
He was.
But no, he was free and does. Okay, Dahmer.
Least favorite part?
Yes.
I know it's hard because a lot of the deaths were really sad for me, but when she goes, I don't know, I feel like when she's with all of those bodies,
Yeah.
and she finds her mom,
That was
and like she
really
knows
hard.
her mom is dead, you know, and she's sort of seen her mom's corpse, like sort of, but she's never seen like the actual corpse before.
Mm.
It's just like, mom.
Except until that point,
And
you can
then
just tell yourself
the
it's
corpse
just a-
starts moving, so there's a part of you where you're like, wait, maybe she's not dead, but then you're like, no, wait, no, she's very dead.
Yeah, it's like they haven't really
no.
given us any hope of that, but there's like that split second moment where you're like, okay, yeah, no, fair enough. But sad.
Megan.
I am gonna have to agree with Amanda. It just was so heartbreaking because he was so young, and like everyone in the group kind of took care of Moro like he was their child
Yeah.
because he was so traumatized and he didn't speak.
He was so much
And
younger.
He was so much younger, and so like, ugh.
He was like their baby.
When he died, I was like, no, you can't. I know. I hated it.
Nadine.
It was really hard for me when like Estrella was like her mom had just been gone and she like was calling her, leaving
Oh.
the voicemail, being like, "Where are you? I'm hungry. Please come home." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't take it."
Yeah. I think the hard part about it all is like it's like not least favorite parts in a like, oh, that was a bad movie choice. It was just like those
Yeah.
are all so upsetting.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
because I
Also-
genuinely don't think anything in the movie was a bad choice.
No.
No.
Yeah, I
It was
agree.
all done
But
very well.
also, I found it super sad when Shiny was like, "This is the only picture I have of my mom," and it's like the picture that was taken of her like right before she died,
No, she
when
was
she
I know.
just after she'd been kidnapped.
You can tell that she had been punched in the face, and
And
so
she's
she
all
kind of like was like
dirty.
bruised and like everything. Yeah, it was. So sad.
Nadine's about to start crying again.
It's
Oh,
horrible.
Gets me. Besides, we all know I'm the softest. I'm always crying.
It was hard too, like when even the very beginning, like the shooting at the school and like just seeing all the kids scream and get on the floor, and it's sort of like it makes you think so much in reality of like, yeah, I bet that happens so much. Like those kids, the part where those kids are like playing, like what's that game, Limbo, with like police tape.
Yeah, that's so distressing.
It was so distressing to see. They're just like, nah, whatever. It's just police. Like it's police tape. We're gonna play. Like
The police driving away from them.
oh yeah, when the two
It's
little
very
ones,
real.
Pop and oh man, I can't pronounce the other one's name right now, but they're like, we're gonna go to the police, and Chinese like, no, you're not. They're not gonna do anything, and they go to the police, and the police do nothing. Like they are
Drive
like,
away.
yeah, we're going. Like it's the cartel. We out of here. And it's just so sad to know that like kids really do get kidnapped and women really do get murdered like that, and it's just like there's no magic, there's no wishes, like. But we'll talk about the plot quality.
Absolutely perfect.
It was so
Flawless.
good. Pacing, yes. Plot, yes.
Truly inspired.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, I mean, even the sad parts weren't like bad choices. It was just what had to happen, and it was upsetting that it had to happen. I loved like near the end when it was so hard, it was so stressful when like they went to Chino and like he got that phone, and you're just like, okay, run, like just go, and they couldn't, and then the blood comes up and like gets Shiny, and you're like, no, 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 and then he's done. He gets got. And
so
it's just
suddenly.
so. I think too, like even seeing when the tiger like led Estrella down into that vent where all the bodies were, and it's like you just knew she wasn't gonna come out of that vent. Like I don't know, I was like, how is she gonna get out of there? She doesn't. But oh, so good.
Man, it's like I might need more ice cream after we talk about all this.
It's so
I
sad.
know, it's really bringing it back.
Any other things about plot quality we have to say? I mean, it was just
Flawless.
It was perfection.
It was
I mean, you
so
could really tell that she had really thought through
It's just
what she wanted to do before she executed. Even though, like Nadine said, the kids got to say kind of what they wanted, but I mean, she thought through exactly what it was that she wanted to take place as far as the plot goes. I always appreciate that. To me, that's the most important part of a film, is if you can tell that someone has really thought through the plot and like gives you something that's really well thought out. And so I always really appreciate it when like you can tell that someone has put a lot of work to make sure that the plot flows like correctly.
Agree.
Agreed.
I just can't get over it that there was no script, and it's like
I know.
still so
Well,
solid.
well, for the
yeah,
kids,
there was
yeah.
a script,
but like that the
just
kids
didn't
don't
get
have
to
any
see
like
it.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next, we're gonna go over the scares. I mean, I have one distinct one in my mind that scared Dahmer, but anyone else have other ones that come to mind?
Oh, you can go first since you have one in mind.
Yeah, you go
It was
first.
Well-
definitely the cup, right?
No.
So the one you're thinking
The
of?
one where
Yeah, don't take hers.
Oh, well.
so there's when the ghost started coming to Estrella, like all the ones that were like, "Okay, go get him, like bring him to us," and she's trying to get away from them. When this was when all the ghosts are after her, and she goes in and she like goes into part of their house and closes the door and starts backing up, and she's sitting on a vent, and all of a sudden it's like
yeah.
kind of quiet for a second, and then these hands just start reaching up out of the vent,
It
and
was
like
a good one.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
It
both
get-
like jumped really hard.
I know, it got me
we were
even
like,
though,
no,
like,
no,
I
no.
know, like, as soon as she sat on that vent,
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
Yeah.
doomsday.
Yeah,
Mistake.
it's kind of like when in like in a horror movie when it leaves space behind the character and you know
Yeah.
something's gonna show up there.
yeah, it's like, I've seen it. I know they all float down there.
Yeah, and they did. They reached them hands up there.
They all float on. I think just like one of the scary parts is like I think it's when she's like outside with the boys and there's just like this dark thing that comes out of like I don't even know what it was because it was like because where they were living was basically like a junkyard. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like her mom almost every time.
Yeah.
Or like when she's holding up
Oh.
that cup of noodles and she holds it up to her ear to listen to it talk and then the little fingers start
Yeah.
coming from it.
That's what I was
No, no,
talking
no.
about. Yeah.
No. Dahmer.
Yeah, her mom was very scary. Especially
It was.
like the plastic thing over her head. But the thing with the cup, like, well, I mean, I liked the concept of listening through the cup, but then the fingers coming out of it.
And I think it's an interesting choice to make like the like deceased mother like such like a malevolent feeling figure because that's not like a normal choice movies make. Like if it's like a mom figure and they're like trying to reach out to their child, it's usually I mean it's scary, but it's not so scary. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It was
Well,
like,
she wasn't evil.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel
Yeah.
that way.
Exactly.
and
yeah,
I
no,
think
yeah.
it felt like real, like Dahmer was saying, like she had the plastic bag still on her head with like the duct tape around it, and like she was in plastic. Like it wasn't like she was this beautiful ghost, like
Mhm.
this gorgeous, like otherworldly. It's like no, she's a dead body, like for sure.
Yeah, I think I really like that choice that she made about, making the mom scary, even though she was helping Estrella, because it made us feel how she would feel, because she's just a child. She doesn't understand. And so even though what her mom is trying to do and what she's trying to say is helpful, but the way she's coming to her is very scary, and she's like, she can't seem to like, get those two things to come together where it's like, all I can focus on is the fact that you look like a corpse. Have the plastic still around your head, and it's hard for me to look past that to see that what you're trying to do is help me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, it's also establishing the nature of the wishes.
Consequences.
The consequences. Nadine.
I would say that for me, the best scare was like when she had just started living with the boys, and then like she hadn't eaten in forever, and all that she had been given was this one little animal cracker by Sweet Baby Moro, and she ate it so quick, and then when everyone was asleep, she was like trying to scavenge for food. She's so hungry, and so at that point, literally, that was such a good distraction for me because I'm so like, oh, I hope she finds
Yeah.
food. I know she's so hungry, and so then she like goes to reach for something, and the hand comes out, and that got me. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, you're good. I was distracted.
tricky.
Exactly.
Megan, do you have any other scary moments that got you?
No, I mean that one,
Okay.
because it was like one of the first times that she kind of like popped out, because every other time was like focused around the house, so you didn't realize that she was going to show up
Yeah.
kind of just wherever Estrella was, because I mean Estrella had purposely slept outside of the house,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because she didn't want to be around her mother's corpse, and so it led you to believe
That the ghost is gonna stay.
that the ghost was going to stay in the home.
Yeah.
but instead it followed her. And that was
It
the first
didn't.
moment that it was like, gotcha.
It did.
The Bink, I got you. So now we'll talk about laughs. Because I think they were cute. More cute than, like, downright funny. But, Amanda?
Oh, well, I like it after that, like, one guy, like, she, quote-unquote, kills him, but, like, he's already dead in the apartment. And then you see them on the rooftop, and now they have this huge TV just, like, in their little junkyard home.
Yeah. You're like, hey, yo, you guys made use of that empty house. Dahmer?
Oh no, I mean there was a ton of cute moments, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked them drawing their jersey numbers on the back on their
Oh,
backs,
yeah, with the
and
big
then the
permanent
4
marker.
looks like a Y, and they're all making fun of him for it.
So accurate.
Sigh. Megan?
I enjoyed the talent show that they were putting
Yeah.
on. That
Okay.
was
So
super cute.
Dude, my Twinkles.
I love because you could tell that they were really starting to like make this like deserted mansion their home, and they were starting to feel comfortable like being there. They didn't think that they thought that danger that they were in was kind of behind them, and they were gonna be safe, and so they kind of like let themselves get comfortable like that. It was such a cute moment.
It was, and then like when Estrella comes in looking for Shiny, and he's like, "You want to be a star?"
Yeah. He's like, I don't know where he is, but do you want to be a star?
And that just makes what comes after it even more upsetting, because you're like, oh, everything's so happy. This should go on for just till the end.
You're like, I just want to
Yes.
watch this movie of just these little kids being happy. Nadine?
Okay, for me, it would be when they think that Estrella has killed the guy, and they go to drop off the other little boys who were in cages with their
I was
brother.
gonna say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you
Dang
say it. Girl, go for it.
And so they go to drop it off, and then the older boy is being so rude to Shiny, and he's like, "What? You have a girl do your work, basically?" And he's like, "Yeah, because in my gang, girls are tougher than all you." And he says that thing.
I agree with Nadine. I thought that was so cute too, especially because Shiny like was so against Estrella being in their gang.
Oh,
like he was
yeah.
very much like, I don't need you. Like
He
these
was
are
like,
my
"Girls are
boys.
trouble. Bad luck."
Girls are bad luck. Like I don't need you. And the other boys were like, we could use her. Like she's pretty cool. Like whatever.
Well, I
we
think-
don't.
Didn't one of them? He was like, just let her stay. She'll get killed by the people anyway.
Yeah. And
So
then
crazy.
it was like such a good moment for him finally to be like, you know what? Actually, that's my girl. And like you can't mess with her.
Oh my gosh, you know what else was funny? Was when she left poor Moro, and then they're like all upset that she left him, and she comes back, and they're like, you
You're a
you heartless creature, you liar, and then the guy's like, you lying, heartless creature.
And you can really tell that's exactly how kids would do it. Because
Yeah.
it is just them improvising. They're like just doing what they think they would do, right?
Yeah, which again, I when we say like, oh, these kids didn't have lines, I'm not sure how
I think they
accurate
had
that is.
direction.
Yeah, like some of these things may have been literally scripted. Issa's words, I don't know for sure. Like the kids never saw like a full script, but I don't know if they were given like.
I just
Well, yeah, they were
certain
probably definitely
lines.
told, like, you're going to be upset about her leaving
yeah.
Morito.
Yeah, I think they had
either way. Like I don't
direction.
want us to take all the credit of the writing away from Issa, because some of those lines might have been literally.
But I
from
feel
her.
like the thing, you know, when they're like drawing on each other's back, I feel like that's definitely something they probably came
Well,
up
I
with.
I would think, yeah.
And regardless, even if she wrote it or not, it's just so accurate how little kids
Yes.
act, especially little boys. Like just a
Yeah.
little group of little boys. Like it's just so accurate. Like
It is.
whether or not it's her doing it or them doing it or them collaborating together into like, well, what would you think in this situation? It's like it's just so good. Like it's just what little boy. You know, you watch some movies and you're like, okay, yeah, kids don't do that. Like that is not something a little kid is gonna say. Like it's so good. All right, so now we're gonna rate it. I think we should rate it out of plush tigers.
Tigres?
Out of tigres. Out of little baby.
Little baby push.
Little baby
Either that or
plush.
ramen cups.
How many,
What else? Or are we just doing tigers? I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
like
tigers.
just
Tiger
plushy
plushies?
tigers, yeah.
Okay, so Amanda, how do you rate Tigers Are Not Afraid?
I think I'll give it 5 out of 5 plushy tigers, even though it broke my little heart right in a little half.
Dahmer.
You know, I can find literally nothing wrong with it. Like, probably 5.5.
Mm.
5.
Oh!
Tigers.
Oh,
we
oh,
break it.
oh, Dang! What, you think we own this scale and we can break it? Sheesh.
It's just a rental.
We
Meg-
didn't get the insurance.
Megan?
I
give it 5 out of 5 plush tigers.
Nadine?
I would give it like a 4.9. Like, it was so good.
I give it 5 out of 5 plush tigers. It's probably one of the best movies.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
It's just so good.
I think for me, it's like the type of movie that I would recommend to anyone all the time. You guys should definitely watch it. But it would be hard for me to rewatch it very often. Like, I'll definitely rewatch it at some point, but this could not be like a go-to movie.
5 years
Definitely
from now,
not,
I would
yeah.
sob.
It's
when
not
I feel
your
like
girls'
being
night.
emotionally wrecked again.
It's definitely not Bachelorette Party, let's pop on tigers or not
Ooh,
afraid.
I love that.
Yeah, I literally just texted my parents and was like, "Have you ever watched this movie?
Yeah,
It's super good.
It's
Like,
seriously good. Even Amanda, who doesn't really like subtitles, really enjoyed it.
So good.
So good.
I'd also like to know it was my idea to watch it, so.
But in general, when we suggest a subtitle movie, Amanda's like, reading.
Yeah. Alright guys, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Scary Movie Clubcast and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We will see you next movie night, and don't forget there are 75 days till Halloween. Adios! Alright, we're recording this whole episode in Spanish. No, I'm kidding, we're not doing that.
Sí.
Te amo mucho. Okay.
corrupt. What? Why is Nadine faces?
Look at what Amanda's reading.
She does seem very intense.
I know.
What?
You're gonna have to
happening?
start your summary all over again. Okay, great. Sorry. Didn't spell. It's fine.
And the only thing funnier than you falling backwards would be you falling forwards.
So
just because it would be like,
Yeah.
Well, first let her finish eating.
Stress me out.
Popcorn isn't the right weight.
Goldfish?
Nope. Too light.
If that goes straight in the back of my throat, though, I'm gonna be like,
I just did it. I just did it.
I don't even know what
Jawbreaker.
I just did it. It'll be alright.
Anyway, let's get back on task.
Oh my god.
That's chocolate! They can't just be hanging out.
We'll go grab it.
No, Pepper would try and eat it. She
Where
can't.
is it?
It's
I
poison.
went behind this thing.
well, I can't eat it if it's behind there.
Can
No,
we
but you
just-
can get it.
But you're gonna
Yeah.
have to try and find it.
I don't want to risk one of these dum-dums trying to eat
I
it.
found him.
Oh, that was way quicker
Really,
than I thought
really
it was gonna
fast.
be. I thought this was gonna be like a
It probably
15-minute
helps that it's
detour.
a color.
Yeah.
Big M&M.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, eat it.
So, M&M's were
No!
done.
I can't.
I
Are
love
we
it.
recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, the one Pepper.
I love how high he can reach, though.
He's like, I'll
He's a
just open
stretch
it
boy.
myself. Pepper, you better don't.
He's like, I better do.
I better do.